Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, has called for dialogue to resolve the political crisis in Rivers State. It urged the stakeholders to prioritize dialogue over legal battles. At a press briefing in Abuja, PANDEF Chairman Ambassador Godnose Bolade Igali said the forum's engagement with President Bola Tinubu was not solely about political disputes, but also about fostering stability in the South-South region. Niger Delta Forum has called for dialogue to resolve the political crisis in Rivers State. It urged the stakeholders to prioritize dialogue over legal battles. At a press briefing in Abuja, PANDEF Chairman Ambassador Godnose Bolade Igali said the forum's engagement with President Bola Tinubu was not solely about political disputes, but also about fostering stability in the South-South region. I want to know your thoughts on the story, but I want to drag us a little bit back from, you mentioned Abalama. Right. Now, while we are fostering, while PANDEF is asking for peace, what are your thoughts as regards the outcome of the statements made, some of the statements made in Abalama, when you look at us tilting towards peace?
Well, honestly, I didn't really pay so much attention to what was said, because I knew it was going to be an unnecessary noise. Whatever the Justice Minister said is not new. I am sure he did not say anything new. It's just a repetition of what has been said over and over. That event for me, I think, was just to prove a point. I mean, and that point, I'm sure it was loud and clear, But regardless of whatever was said, the most important, connecting it to, what PANDEF is saying, is that we need to understand the responsibility that we carry as a people. Because we are failing as a people in our responsibility, we've neglected our responsibility in different areas. The security agencies are neglecting their responsibility. We as people, citizens, are neglecting our responsibility. The people in leadership positions, were suffering. PANDEF as a body, before now, I'm not sure we heard so much about what they, as elders, have been trying to do in terms of curbing this crisis. Rather, what we saw was them individually taking sides. I mean, as a father, if you have 2 children, you don't really need to show that you're supporting one person. You can support both of them at the same time. Nobody will beat you. That is the advantage you enjoy as an elder or as a father. The reason why you're there is not because anybody wants you to be there, because you're there. So you're an elder, so you can speak to this person and speak to this person. You can support both of them, you can support none of them. And the thing is, they are not supposed, what would they do to you? But when you as an elder decides to say, okay, you're supporting this person, you keep supporting this person, you keep supporting this person, then if the person finally wins, you now come and say, no, let's settle peace. How would you react to that kind of a peace? So for me, I think, the elders of the Niger Delta, should be more proactive. What they are doing now is a reactive movement. Look, you remember sometime, was it last year, they had a meeting with the president. Where was PANDEF when that meeting was going on? I think I'm sure some of them were part of the people that took the assembly, or they went to court to challenge the legality of the presidential the agreement that they had, the meeting with the president and the governor and the minister last year. They took him to court. They said, no, how is that legal? And these same people are the ones going to meet the president and asking for peace. If you were the person on the other side, would you trust what they're doing? You wouldn't. So for me, that's call back to what I keep saying. When people fail in we as a people, we are failing in our responsibility. It now seems like nobody can actually talk and be respected because you've taken side. It is now difficult. How does PANDEF justify, supporting a particular child, and then because one of the child that you were not supporting seems to be having an edge, you now want everybody to come back and be equal? The other child, of course, will say, no, this is a trap. I will not trust you because the opportunity you had to settle this case, you took it to a different direction. While I encourage them to, of course, sue for peace and try to reach out to both parties, for me, I think at this point, it is way beyond what they are doing now. This is, for me, is not even necessary. The meeting to Mr. President, I like the fact they said it was not all about politics in Rivers State, because there are several issues in the Niger Delta. And for the fact that what is in the forefront, I understand Rivers State is important, but this is not the only issue we have. Look at the census, the data that was released some days ago, last week, about the different states and the GDI that has been, produced by the state. Have you seen how many states in the Niger Delta? Bayelsa is the lowest in the entire country. In the past 5 years, Bayelsa has not generated any good. The GDI has dropped. There's been no FDI, no foreign direct investment for the past 5 years in Bayelsa State. They have the highest, one of the highest, I think it's the second or the third highest in Nigeria, poverty rate, unemployment rate. Everybody's quiet. Why is PANDEF doesn't see that as a problem? That with all the billions and trillions of money coming into Bayelsa State, it is like this. Is that not an Ijaw nation in quote? Why is PANDEF not talking? Why is PANDEF not talking about the leaders? See, there are important issues that have not been addressed that need the attention of people like PANDEF, but it is not been, because this is a sensational issue. This is a populist issue. Everybody seems to want to take a part of it. Everybody wants to take a bite of the popularity. Everybody wants to be seen as doing something, whereas in the real sense of it, they are not doing what they are supposed to be doing. Look, I can count several issues in the Niger Delta that needs attention. That is not being done. The so-called bill that was passed about the oil and gas sector, what do you call it now? I mean, the 13% derivation, the issue of that should be increased. What is PANDEF doing in terms of how often have they gone to the presidency? Look, let's discuss that. How do we do this? How do we do that? Is it the PI Petroleum Industry Act that was passed? There are a lot of issues, definition of host a lot of sensitive issues. Nobody sees PANDEF going to the president to discuss these issues. We are not saying that, but it's for issues like this that you see them coming. And for me, we need to be more proactive rather than reactive. We wait for people to do the negative things, and then we try to come out to be seen as people solving the issues, whereas we know that they are not. It is, for me, this is belated. Trying to settle the issue. Like the president said, and rightly so, the court has given a solution. Everything that is happening in Rivers State now can be resolved only by a constitutional means and legal means. There's not, that's why I see people talk about peace, and I'm quick to, I always want to ask, if you say you want peace, and I agree you want peace in Rivers State, what is the peace? If I ask you, if you go around asking people that they want peace, ask them, okay, what would it take for peace to reign? You see that it will take people a long time, because people don't even know what they mean when they say peace. When you say peace, are you saying peace, should it mean that the House of Assembly should not look into the actions of the governor? Is that what peace means for you? Or does peace mean the governor should go around doing stuff without an appropriation? Does it mean the governor should still go ahead and act without the legislature? Is that what peace means? Or does it mean that the House of Assembly should not be a stooge to the governor? Is that what peace means to you? So the question is, when people scream peace, what's the definition of peace? What do you think would happen for peace to come back to Rivers State? When you ask that question, it will reveal truly that a lot of us scream without even knowing what we're shouting for. I mean, I've asked this question. Anytime I ask that question, it stops the conversation, because a lot of persons have been shouting peace, but they've actually not thought of what peace means in this case we're talking about. Because if you cannot defend what you mean as peace, then you know that. I mean, ask on both sides. If you ask the Martins at Amewuli people, ask people supporting them, when you say peace, what do you mean by peace? They will tell you the governor should do the right thing. If you ask the people from the governor's side, what do you mean by this? They say the House of Assembly should do the right thing, should allow the governor work. What do you mean by allow the governor work? This is government, this is democracy. We have checks and balance. The two arms or three must function independently. Peace does not come when they don't act. Peace comes when everybody, and remember, there's no absolute peace. And that is why we have these different arms of government and governance. So peace for me is not what people keep shouting peace. And I don't know what you say peace. What is peace? The people in leadership should do the right thing. That is the only way. Remember what they say, no peace for the wicked. And if people are engaging in wicked acts to the people, how will they be peaceful? They should not be there. I'm not part of people calling for peace. So. I mean, yes.
So what are you calling for?
People should obey the laid down rules, the constitution, and be intelligent in doing so. People should play politics intelligently. I mean, I'm a sucker for smart people and intelligent people. If I go somewhere and I see a lot of double, I feel uncomfortable because I can't operate well. So if you get to the height of being a governor, I should believe that for you to have gotten to that position, you should have attained certain level of experience, intellectual prowess, and all of that. But when we have the look at some of the people, with all the respect to them, the people in the House of Assembly in Rivers State, I heard some of them talk, and I'm like, wow, these are the people making laws for us. People can't even express themselves freely. These are the people representing. What does this say? This has exposed a lot. We should be, when we, next time, at least when people say they want to go for House of Assembly, it is now, I'm sure people will now understand how important it is to send smart and intelligent people to the State House of Assembly and not just sending everybody.
Thank you so much for that.